It is the second episode of our fantasy football update show. Toby, you're feeling a bit more positive about things than I am, I think.
Yeah, I've kept it. I've kept it up. Not well. I dropped a place. I'm third in the league now, but as I say, it's still a good place to be. I'm only 5 points off top. 69 points for me this week. Big cheers all around for that. How did you go on yourself?
You know I got on because we talked about it briefly. You know I got 42 points, so I've gone from third to 16th.
And what happened?
I mean, what happened? I've got the team right by me. Is five of my... I had 6 forward players play, if you include the midfielders, 6 midfielders and attackers play. And 5 of them got the same amount of points, or just one more point than Fernandes. So they really didn't deliver. Yildiz didn't come on till late on. Trossard didn't come on till late on. Doku didn't have a great game. Mbappe didn't play. Bellingham had a stinker. That's it, really. It's just players that should, on paper, do well as well.
We mentioned a bit in the first show about the what's it called, the format and the whole choosing your captain thing. One thing I've got to question you on here is, who did you captain from the start of the week? Because I'm seeing you've got Neuer and Mittelstadt in there, but why was one of them not your captain?
I think the mistake really was Bruno, because I could have captained Bruno and then 50 points. It's not a good week, but it's a middling week. The big mistake I made was to captain Trossard, because I thought Romania was an easier game, and also I knew I was endorsed around that. So it was kind of like a bit of a biased view where I was like, you know what, I'd rather Trossard do well than Fernandes do well, and in a way that impacted my thinking, and it was a poor error of judgment that I will not make again.
Yeah, I mean, Trossard's been a bit of a disappointment so far this tournament. I didn't actually see the Belgian game yesterday, but I heard what happened. But yeah, he didn't even start, did he? So I don't think he's one to keep in, to be honest.
No, and to be fair, Fernandes' goal was a tap-in, so it wasn't like he had he wasn't the biggest influence in that performance, and Turkey was shocking. The other thing that really is a bit gutting is Jamal Musiala. Big loss to my team not being able to get him in again. Jamal Musiala has been probably the star of the tournament so far. And I've got 3 German players, and I've got other areas of my team that need attending to. I know we'll get onto your changes as well. I still don't have him work. Didn't do the business consecutively. So yeah, I think that's the issue.
Yeah, I mean, I brought in Musiala, as I said, just before the opening game day, captained him, and he's now been my captain both game weeks. And yeah, he's done all right, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done more than all right. He's obviously a bit being very patronising to the minnow that my team has become, and the fool. I know you're very much luxuriating in my fall from competing with you, but still.
Yeah. We had a long chat in game week 1 about Legends, Chris's team. He also had a bit of a shocker. I mean, he of course did better than you, but only 52 points for him this week. He had a bit of a shocker with his captain as well. Ended up with Bellingham as his captain, 3 points. I think I mentioned in the last show, I said the weakness in his team is the front line, and Yamal 2 points, Gakpo 2 points, Griezmann 2 points. So I did call it, I'm afraid, Chris. And I guess that's where I've got him. The teams we've got to talk about this week are Joel Linton's Samba Boys, or War Joe's Samba Boy. I think the team name is, sorry. He's gone top of the league, and a strong performance there. Apart from captaining Lukaku, he's had a stormer. Gundogan, Fernandes, Cancelo, Mittelstadt, Faz, DeMarco. That's a strong back line. Lots of points there. And second in the league, we have Croatian footy, with a heavy Croatian influence in his team. Kramaric, 9 points. That was a good shout. Gundogan again. Do you have Gundogan in your team?
No, and I even recommend to Small Man that he shouldn't have him in his team why did he have him in his team after the first week? Because I think he's more of a defensive player and works. Musiala are more attacking, and then he goes and does that, and sort of I've got egg on my face again. So I do not. And Croatian 50 I believe he was on the show with Alex. I watched a bit of that episode. Great episode if you haven't seen it. Kramaric Yeah, I don't think he'll do the business. This is the thing. I don't think Kramaric will do that well after this round of fixtures. I think he'll probably be out of the tournament or third place, so it's not going to be um, flying on all cylinders. There aren't that many options of people that have really performed well over both game weeks. That's what I found because I was on my way back after watching that Turkish game. I'm been in London for the day, and I was making my changes like 12 at night, which is not the ideal time to be making them. And I didn't see much quality.
Yeah. So what changes have you made this week then?
I brought in Fabian Ruiz because he did well in the first week, and the Spanish side's been good. And then the other one that I've made is bringing in Romelu Lukaku because he's. I think I heard that he had a goal disallowed or a chance or something like that. I didn't watch the game as well, but I think he did. And he's been very unlucky, Romelu Lukaku, not to at least have a couple of goals to his name. I think they've got a real chance with that group being competitive that he does finally deliver. And also, to say there's a dearth of attacking quality at this Euros. There isn't a lot of the players that have really, other than Jamal Musiala, that have really hugged the limelight. And I think law of averages, he will get a goal. I'm fairly confident on him getting a goal in that game. What about you?
I rate. Well, first of all, I rate those changes. I think Fabian Ruiz. The only thing I'd say is that with Spain pretty much already guaranteed top spot in that group, there's a chance that De La Fuente will do some wholesale changes, and you never know. Fabian Ruiz might not even be in the team for this one.
The side of that is Grimaldo might play, so I've kept Grimaldo in. So it's kind of thinking hopefully one of those two start the game.
Yeah, I think Grimaldo has to start, but as we talked about last time, he's got a little bit of a love affair going with Mr. Long-haired Cucurella at left back. So you never know. Apparently, Chelsea are thinking of putting in a bid for Cucurella, and then they remembered that they already owned him.
Good one. And you evaded my question on the transfers. You haven't made a decision yet, but what are you leaning towards?
Well, yeah, as I was going to say, I think it's better to wait until the last minute because with the way it works, you can obviously see the German lineup before making changes. So I think I need to see that to see. I'm thinking about Havertz again. I'm always thinking about Havertz as a Gooner. He's always on my mind. I didn't go for Mittelstadt last week. I think maybe it's the time for him. I mean, he looks impressive at left back and the way they play, as you say, he's an absolute steal at 4 million. Gundogan as well, if we're talking Germany. No, I think Mittelstadt's a shoo-in, and that will free up an extra million if I sell potentially Frimpong, he was awful for Holland the other night as a winger. Not a wing, that's not his position. Really disappointed in him, and I would be shocked to see him starting another game. Certainly on the wing. Maybe he'll play again at the back, but Dumfries is a stronger defender than him anyway. Other options, as you say, there's a real lack of striking options. I guess, do I bring back Mbappe? France played a friendly yesterday behind closed doors against Paderborn reserves, I believe, and Mbappe got a couple of goals and a couple of assists in that. He was just sort of trying to get used to playing in the mask. I wouldn't be surprised if he played some part then, certainly in their final group game. I don't know whether he'll start. You stuck with Mbappe, right?
Yeah, I secretly brought him in and subbed him in for Foden. And it's only 2 points, but still 2 points is quite big for me at the moment. And I've already made that sub without checking the play, and then the 2 points came out of the team, and I couldn't get it back. So yeah, I'm going to stick with Mbappe again, but maybe a bit more smart in terms of he's starting at least because I've got 3 players to play on the last game week, so he's starting, so I can always take him out if he doesn't play.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, bringing Mbappe back in. Do I sacrifice Kane, Lukaku, or Ronaldo? All of them scored basically. Kane got 6 points, Lukaku 5, Ronaldo 5. I'm not getting rid of Lukaku because they've got Georgia to play, and I think he could have a bit of a field day there. I'm calling Lukaku hat-trick in the final game. I think he scored 3 disallowed goals this tournament, and I think he's going to get 3 goals in their final group game. Obviously, I'm hoping at the same time. I can't see Ronaldo going through the group stage without scoring. And I'm honestly, I've got 3 England players still right now, and given how awful we have been, I think it's time. It might be time to get rid of Kane, to be honest. That again frees up a bit of money. So I might be getting rid of Kane and Frimpong and bringing in Mittelstadt and Mbappe. That's what I'm thinking.
So playing, obviously you're at the top table, you're a bit further up against me. How confident are you? I mean, my confidence is a bit like England. It's sort of got shot through the roof in a negative way. The roof caved in for my confidence for England and the fantasy football team in the space of a few days. Are you a bit more optimistic about both? Maybe you fancy more?
No optimism for England whatsoever. But fantasy, yeah. I'm very happy with how it's going. The only thing is, you get to this point in the tournament, and I really like it for this reason. But you're basically gambling. You're predicting the outcome of a match because you end up with. So let's say I go for 5 Spain players, and then Spain lose in the first knockout game. Suddenly, I'm having to spend points to just to get a full 11 out. Or you gamble and you think that a result's going to go one way, and then if it goes the other, it can ruin your whole tournament, let alone that game week. For that reason, as I said, I'm thinking I've had too much confidence in England in the early stages. I'm happy that I've got 2 French players right now, 3 if I bring Mbappe back. Belgium haven't looked great, so I'm glad that I've only got 1 Belgian player in there. I'm glad I've brought in a couple of Portugal players because they're doing good. As I said last time, I think you've got to really back the big teams and fill your team with those players because that's the way it normally goes. I'm not messing around with any of these. I say this with the Georgia player as my 3rd sub on the bench, but I'm not messing around with these minnows.
I'm sure Charles would be sort of turning over is discussed at that point of the episode, having written a piece about how they should be championed and the seeding should be made more equitable and fairer, which I'm sure you agree with. I know he's a big one for advocating the minnow. Any final words? Any final trash talk? Any final war cry? Or that it?
No, I think we're in that sort of tournament lull, aren't we? It's like game week 2 wasn't quite as exciting as game week 1, I don't think. But game week 3, there's some really exciting group. I mean, that Belgian group in particular, all 4 teams on 3 points. That's what we want, and that is going to be exciting. Not only watching it, but obviously in the fantasy football as well. My final shout out: it is nice that the McTominay got his goal, and all those people that stupidly select him in their team at least got rewarded for that one little moment, that one moment that Scotland are going to have, and let's sit down, relax, and watch the heartbreak of the Scottish nation tonight.
Well, better way to end. Thank you very much, Toby. I'm a bit more positive. I think it'd be quite nice if they got a result. But you know what? It's a bit of a hard one to be too confident or too happy if they do well. I'm kind of neutral on it. But yeah, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.